All right, so I'm just going to channel on position locations, trying to get used to this new platform because it's different space, different time, but it's in its current location. So it's amazing how we travel through. So try to understand how powerful it is when I say 369. What does that mean to you? What does 369 mean? What is three? What is six? What is nine? Calculation to a modification is all about understanding how to travel through these. It's all through you to get what you want through manifestations, right? Three is the activation system of the sun. Six is locations of the moon. And the high line central position is nine in you through position, which is the center operation of all calculation. So it's incredible force when we reach those timeline centers. But before we get into that, I really want to get into the overview what we did in class today. I thought it was very powerful. How we were connected to the eye receptors and all communication interference, program setting, and how we are connected to the heart system to each other. Very, very powerful when you come in that conditions. It's incredible force when you high rise those line centers. So basically, the platitude interference to its location. Now, for all the new viewers, try to understand everybody that comes on, know that you're connected to your energies, your activation system, your grounds of clocking, your travel recognition of time. So, and this is the true understanding where 369 comes into that position. You just have to learn how to set up your own foundations of your own position of its location, right? The geometries of you, the geometrics of you, the quantum fields of you. Because if you don't understand your travels, you're going to go into entanglements, right? And you don't want that through equation. I'll tell you that. You don't want that through equation. So what we did in position location is truly understand this, the position, right? Traveling through the eyes, all levels of the team, into the eye circle locations of somebody else. Really identify your system to its positions. So you have any questions or comments, now's the time to really express how you feel. It's all about the aftermath of everything that just happened, right? So I think it's important that we break down all levels of its review and how you feel, right? Mike, how's it going? First command. Hey, everybody's back. How's everybody doing? Oh, I'm trying to get used to this new clocking center. So it's a totally different operation system because I just did a private sector with my team. And we were calculating, modifying what's the best way for humanity to wake up to these things because I'm going to be going through so many levels of expansion through space time creator. It's going to blow your mind what's going to happen next. So I think the best way to do it is don't do what I do. Do what you want to do, what you see through your intelligence of what it sees through perception. Use the inner child to its conditions. Okay. So what I want to do is basically we'll get 5-10 minutes in process. Try to get into the overview of the class. I don't want to get too much in the class because we already know what we did, especially if you go an hour and a half. So it's just the overview. This refreshes the memory, and then at the end of the class, we'll go in position locations to the next day. All right. So you wake up and you say, okay, now I'm calculating. Now I know exactly when it's going to happen in class. Right. So we're working with two platforms now. All right. So what we're going to do is it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to set up triangles. Now these triangles are set up in 369 platforms. We're going to travel to all 3-point centers, communications of the sun, communications of the moon, and communications of you through navigations. So you have to learn how to travel. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to change your body lights, your communication cycles, and rotation interference. If you don't understand me, that's totally fine. You come in positions, locations when you come into your own activation. Team is here to help you out. They can help you always inform. But I really want you to focus on you and your foundations. What do you come up with when you go through 369? Don't draw what I draw. I just give you the foundation. It's you to understand the concept of what you're drawing for yourself. You have to come into your own colors. You have to come into your own lights. Okay. You have to come into your own travels. Okay. You have to come into your own intelligence. Okay. Acceleration, time center, I think that mock location conditions. The more you high rise, the more you calculate all levels of your tetrahedron locations. All right. All right. So let's just start off with 369. Right. Very basic. Now you always have to start off the basic. This is the basic. There's a triangle, right? That is you through position. Okay. So 3 is at the top, 6 is at the side, and 9 is at the sideline center. Right. So I don't want to get into the weather patterns, too confusing. So just get the basic foundations, how to travel through this. How do I travel through this? What is this? What does this all mean? What does this have to do with me? Well, it has to do with you through travel. It has to do with you through travel. That's what you're understanding. You come into calculations. So 3 is the sun, 6 is the moon, and 9 is you through location. All right. Now, you always have to have a ground. You always have to have a ground. Okay. You come in position 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That centers up the ground locations right down the middle to Orion's belt. Okay. Now, then you get connections to your chakra system. I'm just doing it just by point form. But once you travel through this, you get a true understanding what I'm talking about. You travel through these connections. It's coming into your imagination of your own creation, what you created through your teleportation units. That's a true understanding. You come in that position locations. Now, you guys probably already know this, but it's also good to have that overview. And that's what it's all about. Because I think it's good to have a second platform, especially because, a lot of people can't get on between 10 and 12. So this will help you out in all ways and forms, how to travel through levels of you to its 369 location of its chakra system. Okay. Now, there's a lot of ways to platitude this divisionalized center. You can go in this position to its location, to that connection. Look how powerful that is. Everything is imagination of creation, guys. Right? That's a V-line center of butterfly locations. That's what it is, a 369 location. I just created it. I just created it through a triangle, a 3, 6, and 9, traveling through position locations, center operation to its connection. All right. So you guys have to find the foundation, which I give you, but you find your own way to teleport through all different positions. Okay. So let's give another one, right? Same thing, triangle again, right? 3, 6, and 9. Try to get into your imagination. I'm just showing you a couple of things, but it's putting all the ingredients together. That's all it is, right? You put in what you need to put, understand all levels of positions of the Merkaba, all positions of your power center, all position locations of the sun or the magnetic highway information system. You can change frames. You can change position locations. You can even add another triangle to align center location. There's amazing things that you can do, right? But you always have to have what? You have to have the grounds. You can't travel without the grounds, right? So it's amazing how you come into platitude interference, ground line center, rotation interference, position location to a center. Look at how powerful that is. Look at that. 3, 6, and 9. There's another travel right there. Now, if I want to go through high line center, I can travel through a wormhole through position location. Right? I'm just showing you some examples. That's it. Right? You have to find out your own foundations. Okay, and it all starts with the Merkaba. Okay, starts with the center operation of you. Okay, and everything through the atmospheres. Okay, right, the base, the center, and everything the atmosphere line center. So I've set up 2 position locations already of travel. Right, and again, you come across this. So this is going to help you out. How to understand what I mean by you create your own foundation. I give you the code. You set up your operation. I'm the operator. You're the operation. Okay. So again, I don't have to put the 3, 6, and 9 because it's already in there. So I can do this. I can do this. I can start off just this way because I know the triangle's in the middle. You understand? You can't see it, but I see it. So I'll put it in there. All right. There's a 3, 6, and 9. All right. Now, I can turn it into all position locations into a flux capacitor. Look at that. Look how powerful that is, right? So you can create anything you want. You just have to know how to travel through it because it becomes extremely real to the mind system. You're telling the drawing to move. It will move out of its dimension, but you have to truly understand the ground positions of you, the power records of time center, and everything through the atmosphere locations. Then you come into your flux capacitor, you charge it up, right? You charge up the bottom line center to position locations. Look how powerful that is, right? Now, you can go back to the center rotation into that connections and go out of its equation of 12 line center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go. Look how fast that is to travel, right? You see what I mean by traveling by so many structural locations, right? Now, everything I do is already created. You have to find a way to create yours, which is already in your acceleration of your solar panels. It's all in position to you to remembering these things to its connections, right? So it's incredible how you just travel through the mind system. Look at that. Look at that. Look how powerful it is. And then I could change position to its locations. You know? Look at that. Look how incredible travel is, right? Travel of time. Right? So I gave you 3 right there. There's 3 right there at the top. You can travel through any of these, but they gotta be at the same position location in the ground line center. The only thing that changes you in higher position. So the frequencies have to be different. The sonar has to be different. Electrical lights have to be different. The panels have to be different. The calculation has to be different. Digital frames have to be different in all position locations. Now, the thing is, too, because my team comes in position, they understand all these, right? They understand the clocking system to position, right? Where's the grounds? Grounds is over there. You just can't see through perception, right? So we always add the grounds first. You just start off with the basic, right? And then you can go for a magnetic highway information system, which is your cloud. See, I'm just showing you different ways of traveling, guys. All right. So you get a true understanding. People are getting confused. Don't copy what I do. You become your own inner line center, your own intelligent location. All right. There you go. Look at that. I'm going to show you here. In position to its location. See? All right. You can add even a square box location to its connections. Right? There's a box center right there. See the box center right there? Now you can go in and out. You can do a point center location like that through direction. Now the team's going to find this fascinating because they don't travel through point center locations of all different line centers. See how that goes into a flux capacitor location? Now it gets a little bit more complicated, right? Now you're probably saying, well, how come I didn't get this before when I was at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Why is general drawing so many things that are so complicated? Well, that's what life is. Life is complicated. Life gives you challenges, right? So you have to find a way to come into your own mind of your own tetrahedron of its travel direction of time. And you can see in the center where it's an angel, right? See the angel, see the wings? 2 vector line centers, 369 patterns. You got your tesseracts, you got your tetrahedron, and you got your ground centers, and you got your E field location, right? You always have to have an E field. It's a force field. It's around you. That protects you every single day. That blocks everything out that comes into your central system. Bacteria, mold, anything, connections, right? Anything that doesn't reside with you, you protect it every single day. Okay? So I'm just showing you different ways of what you can do when you travel through extra time. So that's excellent, Mike. That's great. I'm just showing you how many plateaus I can set up. I can travel through so many 369 platforms in seconds per second. So you have to stand your grounds, your clockings, and everything, your powers, and your atmosphere locations. All right. All right, Don. How's it going, Bell? So is everybody getting a little bit more understanding? I think it's very powerful how we connected to the JFLs and everything, position locations of the rebellion. It's all about helping each other, right? And this is now the time. Okay. So when I say foundation, I mean the foundation of you, not the foundation of me. I've already created it. And that's what's so amazing. You do not have to touch space or time Okay. Because what it is space is there for you when you are ready. Okay. It will only come to you when you understand you. And it has to be to the center of what? The heart. So when the heart reaches a certain level, it starts understanding more through its intelligence of its inner child. So it's coming back to you of what it's like to be a child to draw. So, and then you get the foundations of 3, 6, and 9, right? So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to travel through 3, 6, and 9, right? 3-point center locations. Okay, now we're just going to travel to 12 line center, all right? I got the center point location set up, all right? Now, finger point line interference is going to put you to 12 division line center. So it's going to get you all level systems. You're going to see CI line center connections to all positions from the grounds all the way up to 12. 7 of the body track location, which is the bodies of water. And then we're going to go into 5 atmospheres of time and space. I really want you guys to get a feel how fast you can travel just through 12 division locations of one location. Okay? Because where do you see other locations? There's only one location, right? There's only one triangle. There's not another triangle until I add the other triangle. That's a different frame. So when we travel, you're going to understand your body, and what it needs to understand is all levels of the flux capacitor. Okay? So we're going to travel through that high line center. We got the ground line clocking location. I got the power records of time center. Okay? Now we're going to come into a northwest, south, and east position locations. All right? North, west, east, and south. Okay? It looks complicated, right? But it's a lot of fun. Now I can add that. Let's add it to this position. Look at that vessel. Look at how powerful that is. It's incredible how you travel through vessel to vessel to vessel to vessel to vessel, right? All right, 1, 2, 3. We're going to travel through here. When I set at the outline center code frequency location, you're going to travel through exit time center. 20 minutes. Have fun. Traverse and time center, all levels of 12 rotation locations. And 1 center operation line conditions. It's amazing how you travel through recognition of 3, 6, 9 patterns. So I showed you so many levels how to travel through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different ways of traveling. Okay, it's your creation and what you create through the mind system, guys. Through the mind system. Okay, it's very powerful when you travel. Okay, so I just give you a basic understanding what you have to do through a foundation, but you are the foundation of your grounds. You are your position to your ground perception. So when you're drawing these things out, you're changing energy, frequency, vibration, and harmonic resistance every single time you change positions of you through space. So the more you change the frequency tones, the more you get out of less of negative system. All right. And that's the fun part as an inner child. What does an inner child like to do? Go here, go there, do this, do that. Right. So they're always doing what? Changing locations. Kids are never, ever in one location. They're either watching TV, they went outside, they come back inside. So they're doing this, doing that, but they're never, never in one location. Right. So, but they're always connected to the inner child. That's what the inner child is. It's all through travel. All right. So let me know what it's like to actually go through 3, 6, and 9 of 12 line centers of 12 position locations of frequency tone of communication cycles. Ella, how you doing? Well, I'm glad you're again back here at Sella, and that's the most important thing. That's why I set up a second platform for you guys for 2 to 4, is so you get a better understanding how to really get into your own foundation and not copy the general's connection. All right. So Veronica, how you doing? Okay. And then you ask yourself, oh, which one do I want to travel through? I want to travel through that one. Or, oh, this is so cool. I want to travel through that one. Or yeah, let's travel through this one. That is cool. Right. So you have to get into the mind of a child, guys. That's what you need to do. Right. So I'm glad it's helping you out. Right. So every day is going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And across the signals, we'll go from a new platform, like I said, coming in from 2 to 4 about the over review. So we're going to keep starting off at 3, 6, and 9. And we're going to go every single day until you understand your foundations of what you can create through space-time, okay, for yourself. All right? Because it becomes extremely real to the mind system, guys. All right? Melissa, how you doing? Will you allow the live chat comments to be viewable for them after you log off? Yep, I can do that. Don, I think there's a time limit though. Yeah, I think there's a window. I think it's 5 minutes and then it just goes off. It logs off. Yeah. But I will be on live TikTok after this is over. Okay. You guys want to be activated for the new viewers. If you want to understand more program, you can connect with the team. They can help you out. This is up to love and support how you can travel through any time position to any locations of any direction. All through 3, 6, and 9. Okay. All right. So what's everybody feeling right now? What does it feel like traveling to 369 platforms? Are you getting communications of the sun? So the reason why 369 is so powerful is it's because it's the connection of the sun. 3 is the sun of light. Light. This is light, right? 6 is positions of what? The moon. So wherever you go, there's always travel, right? Light, dark, light, dark. So if I move, I change. There's light here, right? So it's all about traveling through it and what it is, right? And that's what makes it more real. The structure just gives you the foundation. How to travel through the ground system, guys. Through light. Don't you want to know about the sun and how it works for you? How it's connected to you in all system locations of space-time? And when you want to know what the moon is through its modem, it's a program. How to travel through it, it gives you codes, right? So you set up the structure and it becomes real through dimensional time. There's so many levels you can travel through 3, 6, and 9. So yeah, I know. Woohoo, class. Yeah, the space-time creator is expanding. So people are waking up more and more, and they're becoming more aware. It's all about understanding coming to the inner child system. I just want to make sure that you don't copy my drawings. Okay? You have to come into your own imagination. Okay? So I think a lot of people are getting confused about that. And this is what it's about, is getting everybody together, but draw your own sequences, draw your own calculations, draw your own coloration lights, draw your own program setting, draw your own travels of mechanism time systems to 369 platform. Okay? I just give you basic ideas, right? There's a lot of drawings here. You just have to get into your imagination and what it's like to be a child again, right? Now I can do a 3, 6, 9 on a downshift, right? I can also do an upshift of a triangle location, right? This is the basic. This is a tetrahedron. Right? There's all different kinds of tetrahedrons. That's travel right there, right? Very powerful. Travel of time. Center is the operation of you, which never leaves. All right, traveling through it, right? Of time, position, location. Now, I can add it in, or I don't need to add it in. I mean, basically, I can do whatever I want with the travel. It's already set in position to the mine center. Okay, there's a flux capacitor right there, right? So I can go into this position and draw this, draw something else. See how it becomes something else, right? That's travel right there. What am I traveling through? And then I can go from here and add this. There's a cross signal, right? I can go a line cross location, right? I can downshift another line cross location, right? I can add position to a system, right? I can add a torical field around its position, okay? I can add a ground line center to its position. I can grab all level system rotation to an atmosphere location connection. Look how powerful it is. It looks like a light bulb, right? So it's amazing what travel can do all through 3, 6, and 9. So, all right. I would like to go to Neptune. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's important for this review and the over review and everything that's going on right now for the new platform is to really get into your notepads, get into your structures. So when you come on every day at this particular time, bring out your notes and get into your structures at 369. Okay. And every day we're going to travel to different levels. Okay. Different planets. Got to know what it's like to actually stand beacon lights, radio signals, gamma interference, program setting, communication cycles, rotation interference location, higher intelligent light conditions. All right. Some people are already at 60, 70, and 80. Whoever comes on, they already know these things. But it's always good to have the review to do it all over again, right? Because there's always something that you miss, right? Okay. So I'm going to set up the triangle in location to its connections. All right. Center up the high position location of flux capacitor line connections to its channel. Okay. Here's Neptune to high position location. All right. Now the travel to Neptune, how would I get from here to here? How would I get from here to here? Any ideas? What's missing? What's missing? How do I get from here to here? What do I need? Right? That's a true understanding. That's the separation from here to here. Right? So if you want to travel here, you have to understand the grounds, the powers, and the atmosphere location. Right? You can set up an E-field line center, protect you through the travels of its triangle. You can set up an activation to its core system. That is your position to your planet. It's in your hand formation line. See? See the star? So that's the connection to its position location. Then you come into your tetrahedrons. This protects your higher level system to its location. All right? So we're going to take this position and we're all going to travel to Neptune. All right? All right. Signal rotation interference position locations, calculation modification line centers. Bring everybody to the observation circle to locations, high levels of navigation light connection. Put them in program setting interference locations to planet of Neptune. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Neptune through center. Right? As long as I have the grounds, the powers, and the flux capacitor in the right positions of all like time centers of the sun and the moon, I'm good to go through travel. All right. Then you clock the system in position, which is the center operation of you, and the now position of Orion's belt. Then you can go to any planet to its location. Right. So what's everybody feeling? Are they feel the connections? Are they doing things right? Structure is very important. Structure gives you all positions of ground. Getting your grounds is the most important thing, right? So grounds is important, extremely important. How many times I have to say that every single day? So just going to back phrase here. See how everybody's doing. Stella, how you doing? It's great to see new people. Can this also bring bad dreams when I'm asleep? Yep. See, you can do that from anything. You have logs, you log it in, you talk about your day, what you do this day, what you do that day. Well, this is all through travel. And this gets you a position location at any situation, which is amazing. And that's what this Galactic Schools provides. It gets you into the imagination of travel. Okay. So it pretty much takes anything out of its equation. You just have to become a child again through connections, all through travel, except time. See all the structures? So you don't have to be a professional drawer. I keep saying that. Just draw like stick people. Very easy when you come to a story frame, right? As soon as you add something on paper, it comes alive. You just have to learn how to use the thoughts so you can activate it and take it out of its equation and send it off to its division of its dimension. Right? So. I think I'm in my way, not in my heart line. Can you explain the clock in again with 12 and 24? Yeah. So gems and the golden abundance. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. First command. Brandu, yeah, you're not at heart center line. Yeah. And now, see, the thing is, you have to look at yourself as structure because that's all you are. You're not at an outer line. You're in shade. It looks like I'm lined, but I'm not. This is not me. I'm not structured like this. Okay. This is not me. Okay. You're not structured like this, guys. Okay. You are not structured like this. You're not structured like this. You're structured like this. Okay. You're just shade and shadows, letters, numbers, and shades, geometry, line, center, all positions of position locations. That's all you are. That's all it is. Your job is to fill space inside you, which is connected to what? Light. So let's say you're here, right here. This is your light, right? And you're working your way up. You go to higher programs. Now you're halfway full. You go to higher level system. Now you're really connecting to your structural locations of acceleration, right? Now you just blend it into the sun and the moon right there. So you're in sun and the moon in center location of all operation. Ooh-ah. That's how easy it is. It looks easy, eh? But it's not. The hardest part is to go up to the program, to reach higher levels, how to travel faster and faster and faster and faster, right? But once you get full communication program setting of the light, full communication program setting of the moon, you merge into space-time line center. Okay, into coloration of light. Okay, the faster you go, the more you can calculate, the more you can see. So you're first starting to remember these things, remembering the soul, remembering the memory, remember what's going on with the avatar, okay, remembering your timelines in the past, right? It's a process. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, but you have to stand your programs and when you go to higher level system, right? So clocking is just basically on you through time, right? So you have your clock. Everybody has a clock. You have a face of a clock. You have a heart of a clock. You have your grounds of a clock. And you have your powers of a clock. So even your space, time, and everything grounds is its clock center. Your flux capacitor is a clock. This is a clock. This is a clock. This is a clock. There's three right there, right? Clocking of space, clocking of time, clocking of you through the ground system, clocking through you through flux capacitor location. clocking through U of time position, all through times pi. See? Times pi. So every time you channel, you go into what? Different pi's of time to its calculation, right? So that's the connection. You guys have to understand how powerful it is, what the clock is. It's just a clocking of you, right? And what you do with your 24-hour day. Now, the 24 is a little bit more difficult, right? So you're clocking at 12 on the outside, okay? And, all right, outside position locations. You can have it on the inside position too, right? So you can also have the 24 above, or you can have the 24 in. Doesn't matter. What matters is you are on the center always operation of travel to its locations. That never leaves because it's your physical system. Okay? So the 24-hour is just basically higher line centers, divisions of dimensions, vibrations of energies, clocking door connections to other galaxy connections, faster tracking inference position locations, right? Times pi, times square, square root, box center, calculation to that conditions, right? Travel is very powerful when you understand what you're doing through time position. See? You can have a clocking center here in position, and you can travel out to position. You can travel out position. Then you can travel back in position. See? That's what I mean with the clock. That's what you can do with the clock. So the clock provides you time position of going forward faster and faster to the location. Right? The faster you go, the more you spin through Highline Center to all universal space location. Right? And then you can take it out of the equation and go to higher level system of location. Right? Look at that. All through clocking. Right? So the actual digital frame is just a guidance for you, right? You don't see a clocking system here, do you? You just see a drawing. I don't have to add the 12 and 24 because I already know what it is. So, and that's the balance of you through space-time. Space-time is balance of you. You don't have balance with space, you're traveling here. You don't have balance with time, you're traveling here. Okay? If you don't have balance of grounds, you're off signal. You understand? So that's the most important thing, is the space and time inside you. The space that you're creating, which is created, okay, and time that you need to understand. What you have inside you is space. So once you reach these programs, you come all calculations of the sun and the moon mixed in opposition. The more you high rise to your program, the more you fast track your connections to your clocking locations of your 12, 24. So the fast track is basically understanding of its graph system. So when you go to higher levels, you basically disappear, but you're still there. And that's how I'm able to do this without any clocking locations of anything through digital frame, right? So it's done automatically. And you guys will pick this up the more you remember. Your acceleration times, your communications, your avatar connections, right? Learning more is the process, Brenda. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, thumbs up on that. That's great. Okay, standing before the gatekeeper, I tell him that I'm in front of the Alliance Rebellion. I saw your name. He opens the door and asks for permission to be in the temple. There's a chest. There, I asked to take it. Good. There you go, Mike. See? In position location, Mike had to identify his system, right? Or he couldn't go to Neptune. So this eternity standing, you have to learn how to travel. You know how to travel, that's great. But the next thing is you have to identify yourself. Right? It's very real. Space is very, very real. So It's incredible force when you come in that position. Position, location, and timeline center on my day. Yeah, the clocking system is always present. That's an interesting question, Ella. Okay. Now, what does everybody think about that? Is the clocking system always in the present? Is the clocking system always in the present? Airbender, how you doing? Yeah, you're welcome. Is the clocking system always in the present? Heather, how you doing? I just want you guys to understand your position of travels. Is the clocking system always in the present? Bell says no. Anybody else? Always running in the background. Well, Randy says yes. Mike, connecting to position locations. So you got the ground line center positions, all right? It gets complicated, all right? So your clocking system basically changes every single day through your thoughts, right? The only thing that stays in the center position of you is you. If I go over here, it doesn't matter. I'm still in center. So if I'm over here, I'm in center. But are my thoughts in center? If my thoughts are in center, it changes the clock system. If I'm over here and I'm in center and the clocking is in position location, I'm in the center of all operation of travel. Okay. If I go back, am I in center? If I go in front, am I in center? Well, that all depends on you through your thought. Are you in the past, present, or future? All right. Very, very powerful. Now, the team could probably pick up a lot of things up too, because they see a lot every single time we travel. But this is just a basic understanding through clocking system. Okay. It doesn't matter where you are. All what matters are your thoughts and balance. You can't travel through time if you don't understand your future. The center operation is you through clocking. Yes, that is the balance of you. But if your thoughts are not in balance, there's a problem right there. Right? If you're thinking about the past and you're not thinking of the present, but you are thinking of the future, but where's the present? There's separation right there through clocking center. You got this and you got this, but where's the center? Oh, no. How is that going to connect? Grounds are going to be off position, no power connecting interference, and your grounds are going to high position to an atmosphere location. There it is. How are you going to travel through that? This way? No. You can't travel, can you? There's no line signal. The flux capacitor is way off position to its location. Right? Giving you a basic understanding why it's so important to get your grounds with everything, guys. Your grounds of your thoughts, not the grounds of this. The grounds of the mind. Your perception of where it's going. You're driving your car. Hey, this is great. Oh, pulling over lineup. Whoa, whoa, right? So let's just say you slid, and basically, are you going to go in the direction of the skid, or are you going to go on the opposite side of the skid? You're going to go with the flow of time of clocking. Because if you go to the opposite side, your car is going to flip. That's how nature works. You go with the flow. You don't disengage and turn your wheels and go the opposite way. You're going to, right? Basic understanding, basic principles. It's exactly common sense, right? So it's truly understanding what clocking is to all levels of what you draw. What you draw. Okay. This is what I love. That's just through 369. So use that as a foundation, but don't use it as a copy of a foundation. All right. All right. Everything is travel. Everything is travel. And the thing is, if you don't want to get into structure, write it down. Some people don't like to draw. Totally fine. But if you really want to understand more your system, structure just gives you a better, more position of what an inner child looks like. Because that's what kids do as they draw pictures. And you guys know that because you have kids, right? And if you don't have kids, try to get into information of your intelligence locations. Look how powerful that is. That's all through 369 to travel. Right? Now, this is travel. Everything's clocking. Everything's check. Check, 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 check. Everything check first before you travel, right? So when you travel through that direction time center, you can go into higher clocking at dimensional location. Okay, you can change rotation cycles and interference to its position back into the ground location. You can cyclone down into another wormhole position location. Or you can channel back up and travel out of position location. How am I able to do all this is because I have the grounds with my thoughts. My travels are always in the future, but I'm presenting it to you in the presence of its past. So don't get confused of what space and time is, right? So, how does everybody think about that so far? All right, let's see here. Yeah. Always run in the background. No, background changes every day. It has to. Nature, because you can't see perception of clocking nature, it looks still, but it's not. It's moving extremely fast. So imagine where the clocking is. It's never in one location, but it's always in the center of all operation. If that makes any sense. So when I channel out, I'm in the center of all operation. That is me. Now, anything that comes in my way, any sonar, any planet, any car, any person that comes into my way, I'm showing you exactly what I go through. All that positions, right? Boom, 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 done. There it is. That's it. Back in the center. Then I can travel out. See? I just connected to 4 signal locations and I travel to another location. In one compilation and one center to one position. See? One frame, simultaneously, living in the presence of its now, through all levels of its clocking system. Okay? So, grounding, yeah. Very important. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. 3, 6, and 9, my position location. Yeah. So 9 is past, present, and future. No. That's okay. This is good. I'm glad you guys came to me through this attention. All right. So understand your 12, 3, 6, and 9, right? Okay. So you're saying that 9 is the past, present, and future. So if the 9 is past, present, and future, I'm going back in time. That doesn't make any sense, Brendan. That's why you're confused in line signal. Your position has to go forward in time to position locations because your clocking center of your sun has to be in all center locations, or your sun's going to be here, your moon's going to be over here in position. Right? So it's very important that you stay in the clocking center of its ground location. Right? So 3 can leave anywhere it wants. It can go anywhere it wants. 3 is position of the sun. It can travel anywhere. 6 can travel anywhere. All right? The only thing you need is grounds of you through your perception of the mind. That's the only way you can understand these things. Okay? And 9 is position of you to its center. travel. So getting in position location, you can travel through all levels of 3 in all direction to one location in one instant position to high line center in its direction simultaneously. All in one graphic location, right? So it's very powerful when you come in that position, all right? So again, 3, 6, and 9, all right? Triangles in the middle, okay? 3 positions of the sun, 6 position locations, okay, of the moon, and 9 locations, right? 3, 6, and 9, right? So the 3 can move over here, the 9 can move down here, the 6 can move up here. It can do whatever it wants. Why? Because the mind is always in thought at balance. So the mind's already in the consistence of its future already, understanding what's going on with its presence of its past. Understand? That's why I'm able to travel through Rickson time centers in so many levels of clocking locations, 1 million mile line center rotation in 60 seconds per minute, because that's what you guys live on. The human construct lives 60 seconds per minute. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's all you guys live on. That's it. Every day, you got to have balance of the mind perception and use your perception as its current location. Right? So I look straight at you, but everything is guided right away back in center. So I connect with everything in this room through its clocking system. That's what it is. Okay? That's very powerful when you come to that positions. So I'm glad we got into the clocking system of 12, 3, 6, and 9. All right? So let's get into why 9 is a new cycle. 9 is going forward. It's a new position. So what that does is it changes the planet center to Vega to not 2 numbers, but 3. So the faster you track system locations, the more you go to high rise line center into the center operation to its speed line center location. All right? So, and then you can go from here, right? And then you can come out, right? And then you can go to 12, and then you can go to 1, and then you can go to 2, and then you can go to 3, and then you can go to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? All through pi. In one center, in one location, in one clocking system, in the now position, right? That's why it's so powerful. So once you come to 9, you come into a new cycle. You're not coming in a back system. You're coming into a new cycle, a new time. And what is that? The sun goes up, the moon goes down. The moon comes up, the sun goes down. So that's locations of the sun and the moon. 3 and 6. 3 equals 6, box center, slash, communication equals vector slash line of center. Okay. So center and position location is 9. I don't say 9, I say center because I know where I am. You start off with your graph locations. Don't do what I do. Find out what you need to do to get where you need to go. All right? It's too confusing if you follow my instructions. These are not instructions. These are helping you out to remember how to do this yourself. It's the accelerator that has forgotten. And that's the positions that you guys have to come into through its clocking center, through its location. And that's why it's so powerful, right? So you come into that again, right? Here's the pi, right? Now this is 12. 1, 2, 3. All right, so perfect example again. All right, so we got all position locations. All right, and position location. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. Now, this is 3 o'clock, right? Now, I can change the 3 up here, and I can bring the 12 down here. That confuses the anomaly, right? But it's still in the same time of pi. All right? So it's incredible force how it changes position locations. The only thing that changes is your thought patterns to its pi. So you go from this position to this position, and you go from this position. Whoa, this is a big pi, right? It's half the center, right? So now it comes in positions of 6, right? Which is 1230. So that's half a pi. So what have you done between all those positions? And you get those connections on your watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, travel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, travel. Right? 4 in the sequence, 5 in travel. 4 in the sequence, 5 in travel. That's how I understand where the clock goes in position location, how it travels direction time center. It's complicated, right? So this is really good for the team too. So it really gets confusing through all line conditions. So you can travel through direction time centers to all positions of all realms and all vortex locations in one division of one timeline center to its condition. All right? Creating all different travels of direction time center, all through location. Speed crossing locations into one center operation to its position. Okay? Same thing with the graph. Right? We did that with the graph coming into this. All through clocking. Right? That's 31 days. 31 days in 1 second. All right? So, and it's all done through clocking at 369. But it's amazing how it comes into structure. It really is. It's very fantastic. Right? So, great. I'm glad you got it, Brandu. Any other questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys out, right? Clocking is location of our center line. It is not always in the present. That's not what I meant. Yeah, I know exactly what you meant, Ella. Okay, you have to get the ground line center to all clocking locations in the mind and perception of its thoughts. Okay, there's no clocking interference in the back. If I look over here and I look outside, nature is not in one location. It's all in all locations simultaneously, traveling at so many levels, right? So if you understand the galaxy clocking, it travels to this. This is all position location. This is all weather is location. That's how fast it's traveling, right? Then they come into all ground line centers. So electrical light connections. This is what the actual atmosphere looks like. Travels direction of time center. That's all it is. So when you travel through the Highline Center, you send everything through its clocking locations. You understand there's box line rotation, everything times pi location. And then you come to all the positions of graph line center, right? To its connection. Communications to the sun, right there. Doesn't look like much, but that's how I calculate to the sun, right? You guys have to start up with your grounds. Trying to understand all position of your graphs, your digital frame, your digital codes, your digital formats, your clocking locations. Background is basically an operation of you, but it's the outline center. It's not the inner position location, is it? You have to understand all positions of all levels of travel to the timeline center of a swirl. Okay? Life goes on a swirl through a path to its position location. Travels represent the timeline center to an hourglass location. Cross reference to its position locations. Travel represent time center to its connections. Right? Go from this position into that connection. Right? Go from this position to an outline center position. Go in the opposite direction. Right? So it's amazing. Go this way, you can go that way. Right? Then I can center up and I can add a triangle. Right? Then I can travel through external time center location. Look at that. Then I go back in the center and I go in that position. Whoa, that's just fun, right? And then I can set up a square rotation, come back in line center. Every time you want to go into another shape, you have to go back in center of operation, the heart. Because if you don't, you're off the grounds, right? You get emotional contract locations, interference channel location, loss transition, right? So once you go in that positions, you can go through another realm center into another box location and another dimensional line center to connection. Now this is kind of looks like time zone, right? Twilight zone, right? And then you can travel through that position locations. So every time you want to change a frame, always come back to the center position. All right. So any questions or comments on that? Let me know. I think tomorrow we will get into formations of the finger point line center connections for tomorrow morning for the class, especially for the team, because they have to understand more position locations of sonar. We got to get an electrical light connection interference. We got to get in program setting. We have to get in clocking codes. We got to get into high position location, acceleration timers, in position 2 its activation system. All right. So you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to head over to TikTok. But it's fantastic to see you guys on this new platform. Adios.